I dropped a hot cup of dookie at work earlier. I'll tell you what.
So,
There's nothing like an at the work poo because you can just let that thing bark, dude. You don't care. You don't care if the toilet gets clogged up. You don't care who has to clean it up.
I
Better
try
be
not
on
to
company
because our shop
time.
is so small.
What'd you say, Jay?
I said I try not to because our shop is so small. So there's
Wow.
one bathroom,
Mm.
single person bathroom, right across the hallway from the kitchen, and like my shits on a day to day are a 10 out of 10 on toxicity. And
What are you eating?
Yeah, what's your diet like?
nothing really I actually eat better than I used to. Like way less Taco Bell, way less McDonald's. Like fast food is on an all-time low. But this, I've trained myself over the years to have poisonous farts, and it's just
You were talking about your poisonous farts earlier in the week.
So today,
A Colorado cuisine.
it could be the elevation. Could be the elevation.
Elevated
Sure.
thinner air.
Yeah, it's like pressure cooking the poo, so it's coming out steamier.
Oh God.
But earlier today, I come home, I gotta take a fire dump. Go in the bathroom, it's explosive, Shit happens. A few hours go by, and I just hear Monica yell from the bathroom. She's like, "Oh my God, are you serious?" I'm like, "What the fuck?" She's like, "There is shit on the back of the toilet." I'm like, "No fucking way. No way."
You didn't see if you hit the back?
I'm like, "This isn't, I know for a fact, not the truth." So I go in there, and she's like, "Yeah, it's on like the back of the bowl." And it's like well inside the bowl, just kind of on the back. And I was like, so I had to break it down. I was like, this is the back of the toilet. Way up here. I was like, when you say the back, there's shit up there. That means I started the shit before I was even close to sitting down.
Yeah, that's a bullshit.
She's like,
Yep.
how could you get shit up in the back of the bowl? I'm like, if it's the bowl, it's free game. I was like, I don't gingerly drop a little Hershey Kiss and it just
It's an all-inclusive area. The top, the middle, it's not any different.
I was like, if you see this lip here, anything under that lip is getting hit, like straight up.
So, CMB, you got to go sideways.
What? This is ridiculous.
You got to go
I
sideways.
look like I'm staring off into space the whole
That's
time.
okay. We know where you're looking. Austin, do you know whose jersey I'm wearing right now?
Is it Jimmy Smith or Justin Blackman?
Neither.
The Hunter Bond.
Is it Mercedes? No. Who is that?
It's Cecil Shorts the third.
Oh,
Cecil.
You gotta wear your custom Hunter Bond jersey.
That's in the closet. But I was a fan of the Jags when the best person to get a jersey for was Cecil Shorts the third. So
forgot about Cecil, dude. What's he doing nowadays? Hunter, we should have a nowadays segment.
Yeah, we should.
Ooh.
I think he's just a nice Christian man doing nice Christian things with his family.
Yeah, he's a good dude, I'm sure.
Austin, do you have sunglasses on?
Yeah, I just wanted to look cool.
Gotcha. No, you do look cool.
Didn't notice.
Speaking of looking cool, this is my grandma's mug. It's got like some sort of star person smoking.
What's the saying on it?
I'm going to read it. It says, "May the soothing music of Father Sky and Mother Earth forever echo in your soul."
That was honestly touching, dude. We should read one of your grandma's cups every episode.
We should. And right afterwards, we should get into it. Welcome to Bro Football Focus, episode 6?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we did it.
You did your research this time.
I am your moderator, as always, Hunter. With me, as always, is Austin, Jake, and our very, very special guest of the week, who goes by many names, CMB, Merritt Buddy, Chris Buddy Merritt, however many more you can think of. I know that was only 3.
Not Chris Merritt Buddy.
There you go. But our guest this week, the Honorable Chris Merritt.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Thanks for giving me the opportunity.
Absolutely, anytime. Would you like to give the fans and the viewers a little bit of information about yourself, your background with the sport of football, maybe your favorite team?
Oh, yeah, sure. I can do that. Why not? So let's see here. Back in the day, 2002 or so, started playing football. Pretty young age. I think I was 9 or 10. Played in the Bay City League. Taught me the sport really quick. It was nice. Fast forward, 2006, Packers, Harbor Creek Little Gritters. Shout out Jake's dad, Coach Phillips, 7-0. Shout out my dad, defensive coordinator, 7-0.
Family
Big time
time.
guys. Oh yeah, it was a big family sport. From there, played high school. It was fun. Played a year of college ball. Figured out that I was a small white guy and I didn't quite fit in. Got snapped up, and I said, that's about enough for me. And then I coached 8th grade for a year.
Fair
8-0
enough.
season. It was dope.
So now that you're no longer a player, how does football relate to you?
It gives me something to do on Sundays.
Chris, I noticed
Yeah.
that you conveniently left out when I pancaked you that one time in practice.
Never. These are all allegations, and they are false allegations.
You know,
Let that be known.
somehow the tape got deleted, but one time I busted through the line and gave CMB the business. Put him on his head.
I'm going to have to get my hands on some of that tape. And Coach B's probably still got it somewhere.
He's got it in the closet somewhere.
Okay.
Listen,
He
it's
probably
okay.
watches it on a daily basis, I'm sure.
If you're not getting the business once or twice, you're not doing your job.
Exactly.
It's true. I do remember Austin got cheated out of a kudo tackle for loss,
Yeah.
plain as day. I think it was against
Arguably,
Titusville.
Arguably the greatest play of my career. Cheated out.
Might have been.
Well,
You're just a young buck. What? You were a freshman?
I was just a boy. I don't know. That's
Oh.
we should save the shoulda, coulda, wouldas high school football stories for when our good friend young Ricky Milk comes on the show.
Yeah.
Oh,
he in contention as a guest of the week.
Yeah, no, he could definitely do it. But now that we've gotten past the pleasantries, gotten past the introductions, are you guys ready for the Hot 32?
Let's get into it.
Out in Arizona, the Cardinals put the transition tag on Kenyon Drake. Another offer never materialized, but Drake signed the tender that came with the tag, meaning he'll play in 2020 for $8.4 million and hit the free agency again after the season, assuming there isn't a long-term deal reached before then.
In Atlanta, Todd Gurley is trying to dispel rumors about his knee health by posting videos of him doing one-legged leg presses in a very short range of motion.
In Baltimore, Ravens wide receiver Miles Boykin had hoped to get to Florida for workouts with Lamar Jackson and fellow second-year receiver Marquise Brown, but because of the old pandemic, Boykin said he'll finally be able to make that trip next week along with several other teammates.
up in Buffalo, the 716 Bills Mafia. The Bills might pick up a fifth-year option for Tremaine Edmonds. Also, side note, Sean McDermott admits to being a huge Michael Jackson fan, but his moonwalk abilities are questionable at best.
See, that's great Hot 32 material right there, whoever popped that. But down in Carolina, newly signed running back Rodney Smith is well seasoned to be a competitor for the RB spot, maybe starting RB spot?
Perhaps.
Okay.
In Chicago, Brian Urlacher is rooting for Mitch Trubisky to win the QB battle with Nick Foles, stating, "I didn't love the trade. I like Nick Foles as a quarterback. He's a really good quarterback. If you're saying a guy's your guy, let him be your guy."
Fair.
In Cincinnati, Von Bell tweets, "It feels like I'm coming back home," when referring to joining the Bengals.
In Cleveland, the Browns owner, Jimmy Haslam, takes a stab at Jerry Jones, saying he should be kept on permanent mute. Some say it was a joke, but who can be sure?
Yikes. Down in Dallas, Mike McCarthy, when referring to Dak Prescott, said, "He's involved in a business situation. I have full confidence that he'll be ready to go."
In Denver. So This is one I read earlier about Drew Lock. He's opening up about Joe Flacco's mentorship. Joe Flacco said it's not his job to mentor people, and Drew Lock says he can get down with that. He says that from his perspective, he knows where he's coming from.
Wait, in Detroit, the Lions are planning on moving cornerback Jamal Agnew to receiver.
Weird.
He's speedy.
In Green Bay, running back Aaron Jones says in a Zoom interview with Packers reporters, "Whether it's my first year or my last year on a deal, I'm going to be just as motivated. It doesn't change just because a contract is on the line for me. I'm going to continue to work and do everything in my power. I trust my agency and the Packers. With that, I would love to be a lifelong Packer."
It's motivational.
Sure is. But good old Houston, Texas, NFL media's James Palmer thinks the Texans will spread the ball around this year after trading DeAndre Hopkins.
In Indianapolis, head coach Frank Reich said newly signed Chad Kelly is impressing and may earn his second chance to prove himself in the NFL.
In Jacksonville, Jay Gruden thinks DJ Chark will have an even better year than last year's breakout campaign.
In Kansas City, the Chiefs tweet out a video announcing their cheer team roster with the girls showing off their dancing skills, and it is a must-watch for all.
Do we have any pictures?
It's a spicy video. It's
Yeah.
pretty impressive.
Maybe our
We can get on without getting copyrighted.
maybe our editor can pop that up or something, put it in reverse or put a box around it. I don't know.
Our post team's pretty good.
Yeah. But out on the West Coast, the old Los Angeles Chargers former defensive coordinator, this is a shit show, guys. I don't know what's happening this
I
week.
believe we're discussing CTE later, so we'll
Keep that
We'll be
under
good.
wraps. It's going to be a very serious discussion. But West Coast, LA Chargers, former DC Defenders head coach and general manager Pep Hamilton was hired as the Chargers QB coach last month and says they are preparing Justin Herbert to be ready to come in and compete from day one, calling him a student of the game.
Is he white? That's like a white term. But anyways, the Rams steal from Texas Division II school Angelo State University by making a virtually identical logo. But some Angelo State alums say they did cut a check. They did cut a check. I think people would have.
They did. They did.
Jake,
They
you're
did
gonna
Cut
have to
a
like
check.
speed this part up.
Our editing team has the work cut out from.
Maybe pop some of that Benny Hill music in the back.
Definitely. In Las Vegas, the Raiders, their stadium vibes are very similar to the iRobot Roomba. Will they clean up or bump into the same chair repeatedly until they need recharged?
Who wrote that?
That was me.
That was funny. Why are you not a writer?
Sam,
It
we got
could be in the cards.
We need you on the squad.
All right. In Miami, the Dolphins unveiled their plan to turn Hard Rock Stadium into a drive-in movie theater.
So over in cold Lake, Minnesota, the Vikings signed undrafted free agent Dan Chizina, who clocked a 4.32 40-yard dash.
Nice. In New England, Sony Michel looks for a quick start to the season after last season's slow start due to injury.
In New Orleans, outside linebacker Anthony Chiquillo?
Chicolo.
Sure. I don't know if it was Spanish or not. But he says he expects to play in a 2-point stance this season as an edge rusher.
All right. Over in New Jersey, the New York Giants, former Washington Redskin Colt McCoy is seeing familiar faces as a New York Giant.
What's that supposed to mean?
There's only one team in New York.
But representing New York, the old Jets. The Jets signed Super Bowl MVP Joe Flacco to a one-year deal, $1.5 million in base pay, plus a chance to make another $3 million in incentives. He had neck surgery in early April and won't be cleared for contact until late August or early September. He will probably participate in training camp with no contact.
In Philadelphia, known Philadelphia Eagles fan, Pennsylvania Governor Tom Wolf, lifts the COVID-19 restrictions for pro sports teams. Philadelphia is currently in a red zone, but once they're moved to yellow, the Eagles can resume practice, possibly including extra safety precautions.
In Pittsburgh, Cam Hayward tweets that he doesn't fuck with anyone on opposing teams, stating, "To be honest, it's hard for me to be cool with guys on other teams. Some I've made bonds that extend outside of football, but if you ain't rocking with my team, then you're my enemy. Sorry, just deal with it. Lols."
Bold statement.
Very bold.
And then in San Francisco, Brandon, I assume it's pronounced like Goofy's laugh, Ayuk, ran a 4.5 second 40 time, which was seemingly pedestrian to many people. But then he impressed fans with a 21 mile per hour top speed off-season training routine.
The Pacific Northwest, the Seattle Seahawks, the Browns apparently have offered Jadeveon the most. See, this is written strange. The Browns have offered Jadeveon Clowney the most money, but he is hesitant to sign. Is it because the Browns are a troubled franchise? Why is this?
Well, because Jadeveon was on the Seahawks last, I suppose. All right, so in Tampa Bay, Tom Brady is getting a 9-episode docuseries titled Man in the Arena, a story of how he went from being a nerd to being the GOAT. He is said to have a similar creative control as Michael Jordan did with The Last Dance. So pretty much he can do whatever he wants. He controls the narrative.
In Tennessee, the Titans agree to terms with defensive lineman Laryl Murchison and defensive back Chris Jackson.
All right, in Washington, the Redskins tweeted literally nothing. A tweet with no words, and the internet lit them up in the replies.
As well as they should have. But CMB, as our honorable guest of the week, what do you want to talk about that's not Bills related?
Nothing. No.
You can talk about the Redskins? The Redskins tweet?
The Redskins tweet. I didn't even see that tweet. You want to talk about that golf match? That thing was pretty wild.
Well, you got to pick something in the Hot 32 to talk about.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
We break it down.
Something that's not the Bills.
Not the Buffalo Bills. Let's talk about. Should we talk about the Vegas Raiders stadium? How stupid it is.
So I haven't seen it. Do you just think it looks stupid?
How haven't you seen it? It's like the shape of a toilet bowl, and it's all black. It looks just like a Roomba.
It really does look like a Roomba. And
Yeah, for sure.
up to this point, it's been described as like the Death Star, but it's really not a Death Star, dude. It's more of a Roomba.
So, okay. So from the top, it definitely looks like a Roomba. But from the side, it looks pretty cool.
The side looks cool, dude, but the side's all the people are gonna see. You
That's
gotta
true.
you gotta
Not
be
from the
looking out
blimp
for those,
shot.
you gotta be looking out for those sick aerial shots, dude. You ever see New Orleans Stadium from the air?
The Superdome, of course.
The Mercedes-Benz Superdome, dude. When you get that thing on a helicopter view, it's looking prime time, and that's why they have so many Monday and Sunday night football games.
Yeah, and they also try and have Super Bowls there, but then the lights go out somehow, and then,
And then the Niners somehow regain the lead after the halftime dominance by the Ravens.
wasn't it the other way around?
I don't think so. No. Yeah.
The Ravens were up big. The lights went out. San Francisco started to come back. Frank Gore was tearing them up. And then the Ravens closed it out at the end with some Joe Flacco clutchery.
Because he's elite.
He's elite, and Ray Lewis had a torn tricep that he deer antler sprayed back to health.
Okay. So I guess we'll all just go through it real quick. CMB, thumbs up, thumbs down on the Raider Stadium.
Oh, that's a hard thumbs down.
Okay.
I think it'll be state of the art and all that, but
You know, I didn't even know about this thing till like this year. And when did the Raiders move to Vegas? Like this year? So I'm going to give it a thumbs up, dude. Like, how fast are you going to create a stadium, dude.
I think they've been working on it for like 2.5 years.
It's in the desert, and we have worse stadiums. So
Jake, thumbs up, thumbs down on the Raider Stadium.
I'm going to go thumbs up on the stadium, but thumbs down on the people who are marketing it. Because it does look like a Roomba from the top. From the sides, maybe not that much. But there's not a single angle that you could show me that looks like the Death Star. At all. Whatsoever. It kind of looks maybe like a black version of some type of Avengers building. But not a Death Star, you stupids.
Okay. Well, I would give it 2 thumbs up because I think it looks cool.
Wow.
But yeah, Jake, what do you want to talk about that's not Patriots related?
Next. I thought we were going you next, but I will roll. One of the ones, where are we at? I was not ready for this. Oh yeah, okay. So I will say, just to keep myself accountable, I'm going to talk about the Denver news, because when we were talking about Joe Flacco getting traded, I was saying how Joe Flacco's probably acting like a dick, yada yada yada. But,
Joe Flacco didn't get traded though.
Well, when we were talking about Joe Flacco going to a different team, and if he possibly be signed with the Bengals, and we had that whole debate, I was like, yeah, Joe Flacco's probably being a dick, and clearly he's being reasonable. Like, this is not a pushover move, or he just needs to go play football and not be a little babysitter. And I mean, if everybody's cool with that, then everybody's cool with that. The dude can do what he wants. He can get that bag and play some backup for the Jets.
That's true, but I think the issue is that he's saying he doesn't want to be a backup.
I don't think he wants to be in a not a coaching position, but in a player coach position.
Well, I mean, that's what like the veteran backup quarterback is supposed to do.
Well, he that ain't his job.
So you are siding with Joe Flacco on this?
I'm not gonna say I'm siding with him, but I'm not as against him as before. I was pretty slanted with my argument, saying that he was a douche in the Cliff Notes version, and yeah. So I'm retracting the statements from previously said before.
See, that's just strange to me, because reading that, I would feel like he's more of a dick now.
I feel like you just can't be a douche and be an elite quarterback like Joe Flacco,
Elite.
I mean,
Elite quarterback.
Look at his postseason stats, dude. He gets in the postseason, his completion percentage shoots up. His touchdown percentage shoots up. He wins the Super Bowl. And it has nothing to do with Ray Lewis or Terrell Suggs or Haloti Ngata or Ed Reed or, any of these Hall of Famers they assembled around him. But he was pretty elite back in the day, dude. He would toss it up, and sometimes the Broncos safety would miss a interception, and their receiver would catch it and run for a touchdown, win the AFC Championship. But that happens every now and then, dude.
True. A real Trent Dilfer type. So Austin, what would you like to talk about?
So as far as me, dude, like a couple of these really caught my eye.
A couple
of them did. I think one that really tickled my balls. Oh,
I got sediment in there.
I saw some schmutz. It, definitely some.
That was disgusting, Jake. You might have to zoom in and get like a sediment cam or something.
We'll get a slow mo, dude. So in Pittsburgh, dude, when Jake was talking about Cam Hayward tweeting about that he doesn't fuck with anyone on the opposing team, like, dude, that's pretty badass. He said, to be honest, it's hard for me to be cool with guys on other teams. I like that, dude. Everyone's swapping jerseys nowadays. Like, the jersey swap doesn't really mean anything anymore because literally, like, 15 players do it at the end of every game, and they're all just broing out. Even if you lose, dude, they lose, and then they're broing out, swapping jerseys. How are you going to walk into your locker room with the guy who just beat your ass's jersey, dude? Like, if Tom Brady dicks down, you're going to walk in your locker room with the Tom Brady jersey, dude? You're throwing it up.
Camaraderie, bro.
No, dude. That's what Cam Hayward's trying to say. Cam Hayward, he wants Big Ben's jersey, dude. He doesn't want Tom Brady's jersey. He's trying to win some bowls, dude. He wants to crush some people and give them CTE.
You do have a good point to be like, especially if you're, in a position directly related to the dude that you're getting their jersey. It's like, we lost, and that sucked, but that was really impressive.
Yeah, I'm a cornerback, and I just got picked apart by Aaron Rodgers, dude. I'm gonna fucking get his autographed jersey after the game. After he threw one up to Devontae Adams, who juked me out, fucking got it. Yeah.
So, do you think Cam Hayward has never jersey swapped then? Because I can almost guarantee that he has.
I would like for us to do a deep search into this.
I would too, because I would like to expose Cam Hayward as a dirty, dirty liarhead.
I would like to see if he's ever even complimented an opposing player on a different team.
I bet he has.
Ooh.
He said there are some relationships that are outside of football. So maybe
Yeah, maybe he went to college with the guy.
All right. So Cam Hayward, I think, might just be a jerk, but that's just me. I think what I want to talk about on the Hot 32 is I just want to give another shout out to this Chiefs video because I haven't seen it, but I do think it would be cool if at this section in the show we just maybe like showed, 20 seconds of it or something.
It's a good time.
Yeah, so that's all.
No regrets there.
What was the Chiefs video, dude?
The Chiefs tweet out a video announcing their cheer team roster.
Oh, they're cheer. Oh, yeah, I would like to see some bad.
So the ladies are dancing, and I'm just really interested to see how much work they've been putting in on the off season, and I'm interested to know how much this whole pandemic has affected their training routine and stuff like that, and even the recruiting process in the NFL cheer community. No one's talking about that.
That's really not front page news, and that is something we should.
There's a link.
We could be the ones to cover this type of stuff.
Where'd you put the link?
Right below the Hot 32.
Oh, see, I didn't think we should watch it now. I just meant
And they're
like field veteran Caitlin over here is literally just in her garage. But whatever you got to do, I appreciate it.
They're all way better dancers than I could be. They're all very good at dancing.
Yeah, no, I think this is a pro Chiefs cheerleaders show.
Most definitely.
Well,
ooh,
listen, can we eventually just break down the top cheerleaders in the league?
I think that should be a bracket. We look at.
I think
a list.
The Buffalo Jills are at least bottom 10 if they still exist. Even.
Bottom. They're not. They're gone.
I have a signed football.
Long gone.
For the Buffalo Jills. Probably
what year?
Last 2011.
That's a good Jills year.
Right before we drafted Marcel Darius with the 3rd overall pick.
But
stuff.
I think what we should do is do a classic bracket where outside of the show we can pick the most talented cheerleader on each NFL roster and then push them through. It has to be talented. It has to be smart.
But a biggest boobs or a
so maybe we can think about that. But I think the most important things are we're getting intelligence, humor, and bravery on the list.
And how much we want to respect them.
Yes.
I think there should be a boobs category that's maybe worth half a point or dude.
We don't have to.
You got to take it into consideration.
But we don't have to tell the viewers how much the percentage.
It doesn't weigh in at all. Yeah, I mean, come on, dude.
Smart, funny, brave. That's it. But
SMB, CMB, dude.
Yes, it's a show of acronyms and it's a show of whoopsies. So let's get into this week's whoopsie of the week. not really a whole ton of whoopsies. I know last week we did the big whoopsie with everybody because everybody's getting arrested and whatnot, going a little stir crazy. This week, just a fun one, fun for the whole family. Tom Brady was doing this little golf competition for charity. Whacks a pretty sweet shot. He's all excited about it. Goes up to get his ball. Goes down to grab it. Rips his pants. What a silly dum-dum. Who rips their pants?
Honestly, dude, you and your wife are almost like $1 billion couple. Get some fucking ripless pants, dude.
Yeah.
You
Can't get some Teflon pants?
Where'd you get those things, dude? Target? Come on,
Kmart?
Tom Brady. He probably got it at fucking Dick's Sporting Goods in the Under Armour section where you see all the fucking cutouts.
No, honestly, there are probably some TB12 pants that was handmade by some fucking, artisan monk.
Can I just bring up one thing about TB12? Did you guys see he's pitching like a pro immune system fucking supplement? Like he's taking advantage of the coronavirus and he's pitching a supplement that's like
Oh man.
pro immune system, and it's just like shit you can buy at Walmart. It's like vitamin C, but it's like $40, dude. Like for like,
So
for like
what,
vitamin
dude?
C and vitamin E, dude. No, I'm like, don't hate the player, hate the game, but
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if Tommy B can make money off of stupid people, go for it.
Now, see, there is a difference because all the TB12 products, when they're made in their TB12 factory by the little TB12 like minions,
cronies.
yeah, there's a big vat that all that stuff goes through, and it's just full of Tom Brady's hair, and everything is just jumbled around, gets a little bit of the goat dust on it, and just gets filtered out. That's the special ingredient.
See, I like to think Tom Brady smooches his son on the lips, and they take a little swab and just swab his lips real quick and
That
dip it
pure
in the
love
vat.
right there.
Yeah, just all that father-son love. It goes right in the vat, dude.
Yeah.
That's the magic.
So, small aside, Jake, at the end of the group discussion section, is
Yeah.
that a Robert Goulet?
Robert,
Oh, that was me, dog.
Is that a Robert Goulet?
Absolutely.
what's
Aw.
Robert Goulet?
Are you serious?
What's Robert Goulet? That's awesome, dude. I haven't heard that in so long. But
Look at that bang his ball. It's a wrap.
we'll get there. But so who here watched any of the golf match?
I watched the highlights.
A little bit.
You
Yeah.
saw it a little bit? All right, as long as everybody saw it a little bit. So I'm sure our viewers already know. But charity golf tournament, raising funds for COVID-19 and stuff, I believe. It was the match 2. I don't know who was featured in the match 1. I'm assuming it was another celebrity and golfer pairing.
I didn't know there was a match 1, dude. I thought this was the match.
No, this is the match 2. But it featured Tom Brady with Phil Mickelson and Peyton Manning with Tiger Woods. Overall, Peyton and Tiger won. As far as I know, Tom Brady was kind of shit in the bed for a little while. I saw that happening on Twitter, so I turned it on. And as soon as I turned it on, Charles Barkley up in Tom Brady's ear. He's like, yo, Tom Brady, you suck. You suck, Tom Brady. You ain't shit, dog. And then Tom Brady just smacks a birdie into the hole. And he's like, oh, fuck you, Chuck. And just, it was awesome.
I
Great.
saw that shot, dude. That shot was fucking clutch. that was Tom
awesome.
Brady. No matter what he's doing, if it's crunch time, he's gonna get in there, dude. He's
Well,
gonna get the job done.
Just the fact that it was live, he was having a poop day, and Charles Barkley was in his ear talking
Dude,
like,
I'm a Bills fan, dude. I know you don't talk shit to Tom Brady.
yeah.
He hears the hate, dude. His clutch just skyrockets, dude. And he gets in there. He'll throw the touchdown. He'll throw.
CMB, what'd you think about what you saw of the match?
I thought it was actually pretty cool. It was a cool thing to do for charity too, with everything that's going on. Give back. But the one thing I will say is Tom Brady doesn't get a lot of golf time because he's always deep in the playoffs.
He's deep in the playoffs, or he's deep in Giselle. So,
Both.
like,
Always both.
you can be out there golfing with fucking Peyton Manning's big forehead.
True.
Dude, Peyton's been hitting the links ever since he retired. He's been hitting the links and eating pizza and selling State Farm or whatever the heck he's selling now. I don't even know. Nationwide?
Yeah.
I think it's nationwide.
Yeah.
But
Him and
He's
Brad.
definitely got a lot more practice on the links than Tom
Yeah.
Brady does.
I think it was really funny how, like, in the beginning when Tom was sucking it up, just how much shit Peyton and Tiger were talking.
Yeah.
And, like, pretty much to Tom Brady. Like, they were just in earshot, just making fun of him for a while. And it
That
was
was
sweet.
my favorite part.
Yeah.
Was the shit talking, and seeing this. Like, obviously, it was great because it was some sort of sports when nothing is going on right now. But I like this like cartoon mashup style stuff, and I hope they do more. Like, if there could be like tennis, like Serena and Venus Williams, they each get a superstar, huh?
Like with NASCAR drivers as their partners.
Yeah. Or just like do this, like, Scooby Doo gang meets Batman and Robin style, like, mashup.
Have you seen Scooby-Doo meets Johnny Bravo?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yes.
Where they have to find his Aunt Jebediah?
But yeah, I mean, I think that would be cool. I like this, which is kind of why I like the Pro Bowl activities day, where I like this kind of kooky rules, random scenario, little mini game style stuff, because it's just fun. Like, it's still competitive, and you get to see the players be a little more personable with each other and, like, talk shit and be like, "What's up, yo?"
I think that's the main thing, is that it is fun, and especially in today's day and age, I think it's good to not be so serious all the time and just enjoy yourself, let loose.
Yeah.
I like the pros versus Joes aspect, and I also just like hearing Peyton Manning is not very much known as a shit talker, but if you're really a deep NFL fan, he's always talking shit, dude. And it's nice to just hear a little snippet of it, because people talk about it. People talk about, like, Peyton Manning riled him up, like defensive lineman hit him after the play or something, like, "Oh, he's talking shit, dude." Well, fucking Phillip Rivers does the same thing, like, people, and then they get by, dude. Nobody knows about it. So it's good to hear Peyton Manning mic'd up in a competitive event and get a little hearing of it, dude.
Definitely.
Yeah, it was sweet. I enjoyed it. I'm definitely for, like you said, Jake, more kooky celebrity game events. I think even, like, if we had some form of Global Guts or Double Dare 2000 thing going on right now, that'd be pretty sweet. I think there's a real lack of, like, over-the-top game shows.
Well, there is a new game show on Fox called Game On that features Rob Gronkowski and Bobby Lee.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah.
Those are two of my favorite people. So.
And they do athletic stuff, and it seems to be funny. But I haven't seen it because I don't have cable. That's one thing I am upset. Is there all these new shows going back onto regular cable?
People need to follow after Joe Rogan and just put it on a free platform and just rake in all that.
Not even necessarily free. Just keep it on Netflix, Hulu. Like, Holy Moly? I can watch Holy Moly.
Somewhere where the people have it. Not just the 50-year-old people who have cable.
Yeah, fuck cable. Anti-cable podcast.
Why don't you
That's
just
what they do with the cable deal?
Why don't you just
Man,
get
I got
Hulu
cable.
live TV?
I mean,
Because
buddy,
you might as well get cable at that point.
Not at all. It's
buddy, you got that deck money, dude.
I said I got a bill sitting on the counter there. It's like 156 smacks. That's always cool.
you probably got your landline phone connected to that as well as your internet.
Buddy, tell them what you're recording on right now. Tell them.
What's up? iPhone 11.
iPhone 11, dude. I didn't even know they came out with that.
With AirPods Pros.
I got the Galaxy S9, dude, and I think I'm balling over here. Buddy's got an iPhone 11, dude.
I got a cracked iPhone 8 Plus.
Oh, there it is.
Hunter comes in with a counterflex.
Boom.
Counterflow. H-Dog is out. The shorts.
So now he's going in the back. He's like, I got to get my extra flex.
You flexing out, bro? What are you flexing now? What do you got? The custom pods, dude. Slap, buddy. Your hands look like some straight workers' hands, dude. Look
Yeah,
at
looks like you
Oh,
like Texas
word.
Chainsaw massacred somebody.
Those
You
are some
been
man
Work.
games.
You been lifting weights, or are those just work calluses, dude? What are those?
Just worked off.
Fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Haven't hit a weight room in a while.
I burnt my finger getting a pizza out of the oven the other day.
That's tough. That looks tough.
Yeah, it hurt bad.
Don't tell the ladies that, but just show them the scar, dude.
Yeah. But all right. So that golf was cool. Now, I think we're going to take a turn that we've never taken on this show before. I think it's time to get maybe slightly serious, even though we just talked about how it's important to not be serious and have fun. But our guest this week, CMB, wants to talk about that little thing known as CTE.
Chronic traumatic encephalopathy.
Yeah, that son of a gun, Will Smith, unleashed it upon the world, and now everybody kind of stopped talking about it. But, CMB, why do you want to talk about CTE?
I just think it's something that's becoming more and more relevant as science progresses, and it's like a scary thing because you look at all these CTE prone positions, fullbacks, linebackers, you're running full force, you're hitting these dudes, and they're not moving, and you're a smaller guy like myself. So it was like one of those things like, yeah, you get a concussion. Sure. Do you play through it? Yeah. Back in the day. But now I like how, I know everyone's saying the sport's soft, but it's definitely taken a turn for the better as far as protecting yourself long run. I mean, you look at all these guys that are going insane. Number one suspect right now on my list, Antonio Brown, almost guaranteed he's going to wind up with a CTE. That's just how it is. He took a couple hard hits, and was he concussed? I'm sure he was. Did he keep playing? I'm sure he did. And you're going to see the effects of it.
Now, CMB, it's interesting you bring up Antonio Brown because I noticed a change in his behavior ever since Vontae's Burfict murdered him in the head region during that one game where Vontae's hit him illegally on the head, and the Raiders ended up losing the game because of it, or the Bengals.
Yeah.
And,
No, I definitely think that was he concussed after that? Absolutely. Were proper procedures taken? Probably not. You know, it's just one of those things. You got to be careful.
And especially with Antonio Brown, like that's just one hit that like we saw because it was on, it was a huge hit by a dude who loves to hit people kind of dirty sometimes. But imagine how many hits Antonio Brown has taken on, pretty much every single play that we haven't seen. And that just builds.
So, Chris, you said you started playing football at 6 years old?
No, it was like 9 or 10.
So if Antonio Brown started playing at 9 years old and he took that hit at what, like 27? Think about all the hits that have accumulated over the years. And not just him, like Chris was saying, dude, fullbacks, linebackers, linemen are just shooting out of their stances, just smacking heads off each other every play. It's not the most violent collision, but it's every single play, dude.
Yeah.
And sometimes you get out there, you pull, you're smacking heads, you see a little stars, you get back in the game, dude.
So Austin, besides Antonio Brown, I know that we have talked about Daniel Hunter.
Are you talking about Everson Griffin?
Yeah, my bad, Everson Griffin.
Yeah, I didn't even know really about this situation, but recently, so Everson Griffin's one of my favorite defensive ends, and he's a free agent right now. Nobody signed him. So I Google Everson Griffin, dude. I find all these stories of him going crazy that are like swept under the rug by fucking Roger Goodell, dude. He's nuts, dude. Look up these fucking stories about Everson Griffin. He's just going crazy. He's got the CTE for sure. He's got a severe case of it.
He is 32, but he's also like super good still. So he should definitely be on a team right now if it wasn't for anything like crazy going on.
No. Some people think, and I mean, it's definitely an easy thought to have that as like helmets progress, that's going to help. But there is an argument of the nicer the helmets, the faster you're willing to go and the harder you're willing to hit somebody. And so it's not necessarily like helmet to helmet this impact.
Yeah.
It's going at that speed, especially skill positions, and then just stopping and it's the brain on the inside of the skull that hits the inside. So it's really unavoidable, or it's uncurable with equipment. It's only going to be policy changes that make it safer. So like, no spearing, no launching, head to head, like helmet to helmet, hitting it like an unprotected runner, all that shit. So I mean, like, especially when you watch tape of like, if you just type in 2003 NFL hardest hits.
Just type in jacked up, dude. The best
Yeah.
of all time.
Like, dudes get fucking murdered. Like, they are just unconscious for minutes. And like, I don't care what it is. If you're unconscious for minutes on end, even just, past 20 seconds, you're fucked up. Like, and I've seen stars, I've been knocked out before, I've been fucking destroyed. And you just stand up and you're like, all right, shake it off. And as you're running back to the huddle, you're kind of just like getting your balance. And then you're like, all right, let's go. And literally your brain is just fucking throbbing because it just smashed the inside of your thick ass skull.
I remember a couple hits by James Harrison back in the day. Like this, I feel like James Harrison was the era that bordered between the Savage era and the Pussy era, dude. Like once James Harrison started fucking murdering Josh Cribbs, Muhammad Massaquoi, like, dude, just look up these hits. Muhammad Massaquoi, I thought both these dudes I thought were dead, dude. They got hit and they were like their spine snapped backwards and they were like slow to get up.
But
like so bad, dude.
Here's the issue that it in lies with that. That's why we like football. We like seeing people get crunched up like that. Like it's, that's, I hate to say it, but that's why we watch it. You watch it for the big hits. You want to see dudes get messed up. But that's a hard realization because obviously it is messing people up long term. But do you just stop the game altogether? Because, I mean, people know what they're signing up for.
You get paid per year what people are getting paid like in a lifetime. So, take your king's ransom and then fucking live your life, dude. You can play like who's that Colts linebacker a couple years ago retired like at 25 or something.
And yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Like, dude, take your fucking $10 million and retire at 25 and don't get CTE, or fucking bang it out like Frank Gore till you're 40. Take 280 carries a year, dude.
To be fair, Frank Gore, I don't know how much he's losing getting knocked around because he is.
Well, when you start off with a Wonderlic score of 6, how many scores are you gonna drop, dude? But that's not to say that he's impervious to CTE, dude. The years add up, dude. The linebackers smacking your skull, it adds up. He played in both eras, dude. He played in the fucking 90s and he played now, dude.
Yeah.
The U, like premium U.
I think at the end of the day, you have to recognize that it's a dangerous sport. You have to know what you're signing up for and balance that with like continuously making the technology better and keeping the game as this, keep it as similar as you can without like making it sarcastable,
I think one thing Jake said early, he was talking about the helmets and like the nicer they get, the harder you're hitting with them and you feel safer. That's one thing like with rugby, dude. Like rugby players, you watch their tackles and it's like they completely avoid their head. They get their shoulder into it and they wrap up the legs. And it's not much head involved because they're wearing they're wearing OG football hats, dude. Like they know if their head hits this collision, they're gonna snap their fucking neck. So it's just when you don't have that added protection, you just naturally tackle in a better position. So that was a good point.
That and on top of the fact that just with athletic sciences and even cleats and just turf material. Everything that's advancing is making players faster, straight up.
And the steroids
are flying. I mean, there are dudes that are 300 pounds running sub 540s.
And it's not Bull, dude. It's
Yeah.
Chris Jones.
Yeah.
We're talking about Chris Jones. We're not talking about Bull.
And especially since it's becoming, a little bit more popular to have a smaller dude at running back. So you have a shorter dude going against these fucking monsters just getting fucking pummeled.
Yeah. Austin, you kind of look like Jim McMahon right now, who I know has a pretty severe case of CTE because he gets his spinal cord drained like every other week.
When you get your spinal cord tapped to relieve the pressure of the CTE, that's when you know you've gone too far. Like,
That's a good gauge.
Me personally, dude, I played some high school ball. I knocked Chris Merritt Buddy on his ass, and
Allegedly.
I also pancake Bull a time or two. When you do that, dude, the CTE will accumulate in your brain. And I knew it was time to call it quits. I could have easily went to college and made it to the NFL and done these things. But when you recognize the symptoms, you just live the average life and you make $30,000 a year.
No, but on a serious note, I did want to ask you guys who were in the trenches for a little bit. I mean, Jake, feel free to answer too. But in all seriousness, do you guys feel like playing football has impacted your long-term health in any way?
Oh, for sure.
How so?
Absolutely. Well, I found out sophomore year I had a spinal condition. I never really knew. And then you start looking back, like, yeah, I've been playing football since I was 9. I'm sure it hasn't been helping me going in there and having all these collisions and, Lord knows what it's been doing to my brain. I got many people that can attest that I am not nearly as smart as I once was. That being said, I do think that if you look back at, like Austin said, every little collision that you've had and they all pile up, doesn't matter if it's one big one or not, like it adds up for sure. And my body, it hurts to wake up. I can't sleep without my back hurting. Like, it sucks. But that was the life you live as a baller.
What about you, Austin?
I'll say for me, dude. Can you see the?
You might want to pull your hood down.
That's like your shoulder, though. I'm talking more.
I'm just saying the overall effects of football.
Yeah.
So I had 2 surgeries here, one on my right shoulder. My back's fucked up, dude. Just like Buddy was saying. And my brain capacity, dude, I feel like before I played football, I was sharper. Just a tad bit sharper, dude. And it might have just been because I was 14 years old at that time, dude. And
you don't think
and it might have to do with the booze, dude.
I was gonna say
it might have to do with the Hoon and the Johnny.
Has anything to do with the Brewskis.
But if I've learned anything from the NFL, dude, you don't blame it on the booze. You don't blame it on the Joni.
You blame it on the NFL.
You blame it on Roger Goodell, dude. You put it on the face of the guy who has the most money, and you try to sue them later in life. But in general, dude, yeah, I got some CTE, just a bit, if not a lot, dude. You don't know, until you start having the rage syndrome. But, you get the CTE in the trenches, dude. That's what the trenches are all about. Bull would smack his head off my helmet as hard as he could every practice. You don't even. I got more CTE. I got more CTE in the games or in the practice than the games, dude. I got Mitch Schaubel, who's 315 pounds. He's pulling. He's smacking me in the head. Bull's crunching me over here. My tape is
hitting you with the big pad.
Coach. We had a coach called Coach Bring the Pain, who was an Army veteran who could have played D1 football for Iowa, but he chose to join the Army. And he would get in a 3-point stance with no pads and just pancake you and smack your head with his bare head. And when you take that kind of punishment as a 15-year-old, you lose a couple brain cells, dude. Developmentally, it's not good for you.
So,
yeah,
down the line, would you guys let your kids play football?
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
absolutely.
See, I'm not necessarily in these 2 other fellows' scenarios because I played quarterback on offense. So during practice, like people
not quarterback on defense.
Well, during practice, I don't know why I said on offense. I played quarterback, but during practice, people weren't allowed to hit me.
Well, practice was when CMB took that CTE from me. I remember I got a good one in though.
Alleged.
But the
CTE.
thing, and the crux to it all, and the key part of this, I was worse at defense than like our third string freshman when I was a senior. So like it was to the point where they would put me in on defense, and I actually was like, Coach, are you sure? Like, you want to do this? And they say, yeah, get in there. And then the quarterback throws out his arm because he dropped such a long bomb on me into the touchdown.
Oh, dude.
So I didn't have the chance for hard impact besides when I would run, and that would be often. I would take off often, but it wasn't on a consistent of enough basis to fuck me up. So like, you either are good and you probably have CTE, or you're bad and you don't, but then you're just bad at football. So
I want to say for the viewers who didn't understand Jake's reference, a quarterback, was it Joe Dunn?
Yeah, from Gerard.
Joe Dunn from Gerard once threw a ball so far and so hard against Jake in coverage that he blew his like best quarterback in the conference arm out, dude. He fucking threw it so hard he threw his arm out and just bombed one over Jake for the most miraculous touchdown I've ever seen.
Yeah, and my response to that was obviously I was kind of pissed off, and everyone was definitely pissed off at me. But I went back on the sideline and I was like, hey, I this is why I'm not supposed to go in. That's a basic coach move. I don't feel bad. I feel worse when you tell me to go in because I know I'm going to let everybody down. So just
imagine
Tommy
Imagine Tommy B just dropping an 80-yard bomb and just blowing shoulder out. Pro Bowl season, having the time of his life. Oh, like touchdown, dude. Like,
I'm sure
that's how wide open the guy was. He just had so much sauce on it. Fucking threw it out, dude.
I wouldn't be surprised if when opposing teams looked at tape, towards the end of the game, fourth quarter, when I would get tossed in on defense, they probably just pause the tape and say, guys, we have to pray to God this kid gets put in a corner because we're going 4 verts and just dicking on this kid and scoring instantaneously.
I was
Even in like a Greek week flag football, I would just be right there for the sweet pick six, and I just freeze up, and I'm just can't do it. Get mossed by some fucking stony baloney that fucking hadn't played football ever. Just it's a shame.
So I think what we learned from this serious discussion is that even though it's dangerous and it can have some long-term health effects, we all love football and we think it should stay around. And Jake is not really that good at playing it.
I'll say this too. I would like to say this. People in the military will risk their lives at 18 years old to make $18,000 a year. Like, dude, come on, dude. You are making a person's lifetime salary in one season. You can retire whenever. You got fucking league benefits. The NFLPA's fighting for your benefits every year. Dude, come on now. Don't be complaining about your CTE. Check out when you got to check out, dude. Don't be Vonta Leach. Don't be fucking Rolando McClain, LaRon McClain, the McClain family in general, dude. They're in there. They're linebackers and fullbacks, dude, and they're banging heads till they're 40 years old, and it's not going to work out for you, dude. You're going to go crazy. You're going to shoot some people, and you're going to go to jail. So,
and that's the thing is, like, when you look at it, for people who are, like the super, super against all this, and they're like, NFL needs to not happen. Football needs to be over because it's too unsafe. It is unsafe. Yes, we know that. Yes. But when you look at the circumstances that some of these players come from, them going to the NFL doesn't only change their life. It literally changes their whole family's life. And they did that because they fucking busted their ass.
I mean, it
took the hard hits.
Change their life. It definitely changes their life.
Well, no, I'm saying it doesn't just change their life. It changes more. It's affecting more people in the good than I think in the bad. Not saying that the bad isn't there, but a lot of going to the NFL literally is a complete start for whole families and communities. And these people get to give back to communities because they have the resources. Like,
That's a great
so
point.
much good. It's insane.
Go on any of these rookies' Instagrams and just look, dude. They bought their mom a Rolls Royce already. Their mom has a house. Like, dude, they grew up in the hood with like no income, nothing at all. They didn't even have weights to lift. Ray Lewis is literally, he had no weights, and he has a deck of cards and he draws a card and that's how many push-ups he's doing. Like, that dude went from doing that and he had nothing to train with. He's out in the middle of nowhere.
So he was doing a max of like 9 push-ups?
No. You do the whole deck.
He did the whole deck, dude. You dropped 52 cards, Hunter, dude.
Hey, so I only have to do one.
Yeah, I thought you meant like, whoop, it's a 4.
Yeah, fucking, who's that guy from Herschel Walker, dude? Herschel Walker never lifted a weight, dude. He was straight push-ups and sit-ups, and he just grinded his way he was just a fat kid, dude. Started doing push-ups and sit-ups like thousands a day from the hood, dude. Just trying, like, their mindset is just to make enough money to set them up, dude, with football.
Yeah.
When you have that kind of opportunity, you got to sacrifice something, dude, and it might be brain cells.
No, and it was brought up very briefly on the previous episode that we talked about this. But it's, the thought is like, obviously, or what was brought up is that you don't want the NFL to directly address it and be like, yeah, it's real, But so do you think that a move would be to have a separate organization that's like dedicated to like post NFL resources, or does the NFL address it and have resources within itself? Like, where do we go from where we're at right now?
After concussion came out, they did address it, and they do have like a special sector. That's why they have like the blue medical tents on the sidelines now.
If you play in the NFL for a certain number of years, I'm pretty sure you have you're set for life. You have better medical coverage than the average person. Like, you have pretty good coverage. Yeah,
that should definitely be. If it isn't already a thing, once you play in the NFL, you should get like a lifetime health. Like, you will always have the best health insurance.
What I will say, yeah, you can play like blow your 100 million, blow your brain cells out, and you'll still be covered, dude. From what I understand, and I haven't delved into this too far, but like I've seen they got like the NFLPA exists for a reason, and they're fighting with the owners constantly, dude. Every 4 or 5 years, you get this argument, dude. And you don't know if the NFL teams will actually like play for the season. This happens every like 5 years, where they get in a big argument, and the Players Association gets like a little bit up. The owners get like some more money somehow, dude, and it just works out. But it does happen, dude. They're constantly negotiating.
Yeah, but speaking of, did you have something to say, CMB?
No, I'm good.
Oh, okay.
I said Mitch.
Oh, I gotcha. Speaking of blowing your brain cells, perfect time for our Jake's Fun Game of the Week. Top NFL players to have killed themselves because of CTE.
That is not the fun game.
Well, then what is the fun game?
List is null. It's no good anymore.
That's not fun.
That was a bad joke. Jake, what is the fun game?
That's the whiskey of the week.
Canceled. And Me Too in the same stroke.
You can't Me Too us on YouTube, dude. We're our own platform, dude.
It's gonna be called Me Too Tube. But either way, my fun game of the week is top 3 favorite NFL player interview moments. Graphic.
False allegations of you pancaking me that mysteriously slipped into the unknown
CMB, dude.
Somewhere in the ether.
I swam, moved through the trenches. I squared up. I saw you, and I laid the hammer, dude. I put you on the ground, and I rolled over your body, and I said, "Gotcha." Gotcha.
This is a dog. He is 6 months.
Boop his nose. Boop his nose if he's a real dog.
Pretty sure you've showed us.
Oh, a real dog. That's a real dog.
It is a dog. All right, get out of here.
Hey there, boy. What you doing there, boy?
This is also a dog.
As As I also previously mentioned on the show, might have been before recording, I am currently wearing Bulls 5XL jersey. And it should have been sent to him already, but some people call me absent-minded. So it's on me. But all right, so for the fun game, the top 3 interview moments, we will start with Young Money Chris Merritt Buddy.
All right. So for number 3, I'm going sentimental. That Tom Brady interview at the Super Bowl where that kid asked him the question, "Who's his hero?" And it got him to stop and start breaking down. I was like, "Oh man, he's not a machine. He's actually a guy and he's got emotions. That's crazy." But that was for sure. It had to be on the list because it was a deep moment that not many people see in the lives of NFL athletes.
Who's my hero? It's a great question. Well, I think my dad is my hero because he's someone that I look up to every day. And my dad.
Who did he say his hero was?
His dad.
Oh.
And then he went to give a reason, and then he just kind of choked up and said, "Yeah, my dad."
What a silly answer. I thought he would have said Joe Montana or something.
Some people have, on the talk of Tom Brady's emotions not coming out, some people have said they don't like this new Tom Brady being more socially active, and they think it's because when he was on the Patriots that Bill Belichick was kind of a don't be out in the crowd Nazi guy, which makes total 10,000% sense.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean, he's a control freak, definitely. I mean, he demanded that he is the general manager and the coach. And
That's a power move, though.
all right, so when the general managers have their, meeting for all the rules and stuff, Bill Belichick is there. When the coaches have their, meeting group, dude, Belichick's there, dude. He's there for everything. And he's alphaing everybody. He's been there the longest. He's coached 50 times longer than everybody. He's been there since they were kids. Sean McVay wasn't born when Bill Belichick started coaching.
That's insane.
That's crazy.
But all right, Hunter, go ahead and give us your number 3.
So, Jake, if you are looking these up and trying to put clips in and stuff for these, you're going to have a lot of trouble finding this one unless you go to a
Celeb Jihad or some type of backdoor website like that.
Yeah, 2017, maybe even 2016 Jaguars week 3 training camp video, something nuts. But they're in the locker room and they're asking everybody what their favorite songs are at the moment. And they go up to Blake Bortles, and you know Blake Bortles. He's just the white dude who looks like he can work at a gas station. And they're like, "Hey, Blake, what's your favorite song?" And he takes the mic and he goes, "Move That Dope" by Future. And then that's it. And I just think it's really funny because I didn't expect that from Blake Bortles.
I remember Hunter showing me this, in 2015, 2016?
2016, maybe.
And this is when the song – I never even heard the song by Future at this point. And he shows me this interview by Bortles, and I listen to the song. I'm like, oh, dude, that's pretty dope. That's a good song.
Yeah, but it's just how he says it because he's like, "Move That Dope" by Future.
Yeah, very white, dude.
That's funny. All right, I think I go with number 3. So my number 3 is and this guy has a lot of fire interview moments, but I'm going to go with Richard Sherman's "When you come at me at the sorry receiver like Crabtree, that's the result you going to get."
Richard, let me ask you the final play. Take me through it.
Well, I'm the best corner in the game. When you try me with a sorry receiver like Crabtree, that's the result you're going to get. Don't you ever talk about me.
Who was talking about you?
Crabtree, don't you open your mouth about the best. Or I'm going to shut it for you real quick. LOB.
All right, and Joe, back over to you.
All right, well, we saw.
And the lady's like, I'm sorry, who is saying something to you? He's like, what? Crabtree. Man, shut your fucking mouth, man. And she's like, oh, okay, well, looks like we're good. And then she just gets cut off by the news guys. But yeah, love a good aggressive Richard Sherman. It's a good one. Classic.
Yeah, it's an all-time classic for sure.
There was so much emotion, and the end of the game. So this is like an NFC Championship game. I believe the Niners are up like 17. The Seahawks got 23 points. They try to throw a fade route to fucking Crabtree on Richard Sherman in his prime, dude. And he's juiced up. He swats it down. You get all that emotion post game.
Yeah,
that's a pretty good interview, dude. That's one of the greatest of all time.
most definitely. What do you got for 3 there, Austin?
So for number 3, I'm going with Randy Moss. And I'm referring to an interview where the interviewer asks, do you look – all right, so he just got signed to New England. He's coming off of – so Minnesota, he gets drafted 6 seasons. He's 1,200-plus yards, like 1,200 to 1,600, going crazy. Then he goes to Oakland. He gets 1,000 yards. He gets 500 yards. He's on the decline. He goes to New England, and the reporter says, do you look at this as a way to revitalize your career? And he says, no, I don't got to revitalize nothing. Everybody know who I am. And after he said that, he proceeded to drop 1,493 yards and 23 touchdowns. 23 touchdowns in 17 games. Tom Brady was just chucking it up. He's one-handing over Darrelle Revis. And that is just one of my favorite interview moments, dude. Randy Moss just he had so much confidence in himself. He knew he was the GOAT at that moment.
Nice.
Yeah, Randy Moss is one of the GOAT of the GOATs.
The GOAT, dude.
The GOAT
No,
GOATs.
for sure.
So CMB, your numero dos.
Number 2. I'll probably also go to a Mr. Richard Sherman. Not a huge fan of the guy, but he's pretty funny. And when he talks like he's educated from Stanford, like he is, it is the funniest thing. Like he just demeans these interviewers. And the one, I can't remember even the year, but this interviewer was asking him about his relationship to one of the other players, and he was like, that's irrelevant. Like, we have our own separate relationship. That's fine. And then it proceeds to talk about Robert Kraft and Roger Goodell. And he goes, well, there's the difference is Goodell's Robert Kraft's boss. I'm not this guy's boss, and this guy's not my boss. We're our own people. And it just made this poor little interviewer look so stupid. It was the funniest thing.
It's not difficult to do your research, but I obviously do. In which way was I incorrect? It's a little different. I don't work for Brandon Brown. You don't have anything else?
Oh, no, I do, but I'm wondering how much research you do.
But you never answer you never go on with our discussion. You never concluded that. So I don't work for Brandon Brown, so the point is invalid.
I know which one you're talking about, and it's funny because he has the initial argument because she said something along the lines of like, is this relationship like a conflict of interest? And then she's like, did you do your research? And he's like, no, it's not hard to do research. And I did. She's like, but did you do your research? So then they start like arguing about like semantics and shit. And he's like, you aren't even finishing the question. Like, now you're asking about, I did my research. Did you do your research? Like, and it's just.
How are you going to tell someone to do their research? Dude, this is their real life. Like, this is what they go through day to day.
Exactly. It's like, no, I talked to this guy in person and I heard him with my ears. That's It's best research you can fucking have.
Yeah.
All right,
Richard-
there, Hunter. Lay it on us.
Richard's a good source of quotes. My number 2 comes from last year. It is a Jimmy Garoppolo after a game. And Aaron Andrews, classic sideline reporter, comes up to him after the game. They just got to 8-0. And Aaron Andrews says, "Hey, how's it feel to be 8-0?" And Jimmy goes, "Huh, feels great, baby." And it was awesome because he was just like flirting with Aaron Andrews right there on live TV, and it was super sweet.
Came along quicker than you thought. What about tonight?
Yeah, he picks it up quick. He's a vet, and he's a pro, so he just, I don't know, it's awesome having a guy like that. And then you got credit the guys up front to give us time to be able to throw those types of routes. So it's a big team effort.
8-0. How does that feel?
Feels great, baby.
I remember he said, "Feels great, baby," and that just made headlines everywhere. Because all right, keep in mind, like a month prior to this, Jimmy Garoppolo was spotted in San Francisco with a porn star with huge tits, dude. And he's just out on the town, dude.
And if I'm not mistaken, that adult film actress was quoted in saying that she had to tap out because Jimmy G was so good in the bedroom.
Like, dude, you can't be having these quotes and just hitting on Aaron Andrews because in San Francisco, when you're a good-looking Italian stallion,
yeah,
will make headline news.
Yeah, so that's my numero dos.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
Feel great, baby. It's just how it says.
So for my number 2, and sometimes I feel like a schmuck when I go back to back saying dude, but my number 2 is also Richard Sherman, and this is just when he straight up ethers Skip Bayless. Now, mind you, this is a long conversation, but just some quick little sound bites from Richard Sherman to Skip Bayless. "I'm better at life than you. You're not the top 22 at anything. I'm better than you. These are things you will never achieve. You are a cretin. I'm going to crush you."
Skip can say whatever he wants, but Skip, whenever you refer to me, whenever you speak to me, whenever you address me as all-pro Stanford graduate, because those are some accomplishments you can aspire to, you will never accomplish. You have never accomplished anything. So, but those things are on my resume. Those are what I've done. It's my second year in the NFL, going on my third. I mean, you tell me who's wrong.
Okay, I'll accept that. I think I've accomplished more in my field than you have in yours, though you're just getting started.
So I'm the top of my field. So I'm all pro. I'm the best, one of the best 22 players in the NFL. You're going to brush it off, but I don't think you're the best 22 anything in sports and in media and anything. I think you think more of yourself than you actually can, prove. But
okay. Do you think you're better than Darrelle Revis is right now?
In my 24 years of life, I'm better at life than you.
A cretin.
Yeah, and the whole time, Skip, he's like, "No, it sounds like you're getting a little personal here." And he's like, "No, it's not personal. It's what I do." And then 2 minutes later, he's like, "No, it seems like you're a little on it." He's like, "No, listen, if you want to talk about me, let's talk right now. I'm talking to you. This isn't about football. This isn't about me. This is about you." And he just fucking goes at him, and it's just amazing. It's so good.
I remember when I first heard this, I watched this live in like 2012 to 2014 in high school. I just got home from school off the bus, dude. I get in, I crank on the fucking Sports Center or whatever Skip Bayless is on at this point in his life. And dude, I had been watching Skip Bayless for months. This is like primetime Richard Sherman in like 2012 when the Legion of Boom was going off. They're getting picks. Skip Bayless for months have been saying he's overrated. And dude, they finally get Richard Sherman on, and Richard Sherman just giving Skip the business, dude. Richard's been getting picks. He's taking people down. Skip has no argument, dude. Richard destroyed him.
Yeah, when you're done watching this episode, just pause it. Click on the YouTube searches. You can pause it halfway through the intro at the end, or finish it.
We'll
Then
leave, the
search.
link. We'll leave the link in the description, dude. Take a peek.
Then just search Richard Sherman, Skip Bayless. No other words, and that's gonna come up. And it is it's a treat. It'll make you tingle on the inside.
And that's only number 2.
And
That's number 2.
I just recalled an honorable mention that we could get later on.
Yeah, let's say we don't want to cut anybody's balls off.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Just keep me in the loop, dude. Tell me later on.
Give me your number 2 there, Austin.
So my number 2 is it's in the late 2000s, maybe mid 2000s. The Patriots had beaten the Jets' ass like early in the season. The Patriots make the playoffs. The Jets sneak into the playoffs with Mark Sanchez. The Jets fuck up the Patriots, dude. And then Sal Palantonio, the Jets sideline reporter, who's just a big-time reporter at this point in time. Everyone loves Sal Palantonio, dude. He gets Bart Scott, the Jets middle linebacker, for a post-game interview, and Bart is fired up. And he goes in, and he's talking about how everybody doubted the Jets, and like everyone was touting the Patriots defense so highly. When the Jets had the number 3 defense, they had Revis, Cromartie, Scott, like Davis, all these good players, and the Patriots had nobody, dude. They were like 25th in the league. And he's like, they can't stop a nosebleed. And then Sal Palantonio says, I'll see you in Pittsburgh next week. And he says, can't wait. And it was just a real good interview, dude. When you see Bart Scott, all that testosterone, he was smacking around the Patriots all game. It's a division rivalry. When you see that all culminate with a Sal Palantonio interview, it's a great, dude. It's amazing.
Well, CMB, it's that time to give us your number 1.
Number 1 interview moment of all time.
In your
easily, not even in contention. 100% Marshawn Lynch, beast mode. I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Yeah.
The guy hates the media more than anybody, and it's awesome when they make him talk because they can't make him talk, and everyone knows that.
Well, then let me start. Hey, I'm just here so I don't get fined. So y'all can sit here and ask me all the questions y'all want to. I'm going to answer with the same answer, so y'all can shoot if y'all please. I'm here so I won't get fined. 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 I'm just here so I won't get fined.
Yeah, he would only talk to Deion Sanders at that media day.
Yeah. He's a legend. That was
him down, dude.
Yeah, it was like a back room in a hallway interview, and he still didn't
It was
say
live TV, but the camera was going like this.
Yeah.
Prime time's hustling.
No, I do agree that one is probably like when you're talking about interview moments, that's probably.
Yeah, that's one of the best sports interview moments, not just football.
Just in general.
no,
I
for
will
sure.
say, I watched Marshawn get drafted early on, and he was more vocal with the Bills early on in his career, and he did all kinds of cool interviews. He had one where he raced Kyle Williams, defensive tackle, in like a pool race, back and forth. Kyle Williams beat him, but it was like he did a lot of interviews, and he was my favorite player, dude. Then they traded him the Seahawks for a 5th-round pick, and I cried. It was really sad, dude.
Well,
Yeah, one hurt for sure.
hopefully I can cheer you up with my number 1 because it's a funny. It's also a twofer, but it's from the same person and it's from like around the same time, so I think it's fair.
No, that's a rap move.
Well, they're from Quinnen Williams when he got drafted, and the first one I think was like right after he got drafted. He was in some sort of interview, and I don't even know what they're talking about, but Quinnen Williams sneezes at one point, and he's just like, and then he goes, "Oh, bless me," and he blesses himself.
Education and different character things. Listen, thank you that I got here. So,
how was your rating?
My rating, I got an 80 on Ultimate Team. So I'm gonna go play with myself today. So see how I feel. That came out weird.
And that's awesome because I have never once seen someone sneeze and bless themselves.
My dad does that every time.
Really? Well, it's
Wow.
Always bless me.
I would
Always.
never bless
And my
myself.
dad's a fan.
That's
I'm not
bad
talking
for
shit,
you.
but it is funny.
See,
It is
Quentin
funny.
Williams, he might not have said bless me. He might say bless you. But he's talking
Yeah,
about
he
Now
did
that's
say bless
crazy.
you.
If
Yeah.
he sneezes and says bless you,
He sneezed so hard he left his actual body was floating above himself and said "bless you" to himself. Dude.
that makes sense.
I think that goes right back to the old CTE talk. He was just so confused. That brain rattle from the sneeze
Good point, CTE.
possibly.
shocked the system.
CMB.
But then the part 2 comes from later on in the year in training camp when the Jets are asking him like the Jets reporters are like, what's it like to be in the NFL? Is it cool seeing yourself in Madden? And he's like, oh yeah, it's super cool being in Madden. Like it's awesome seeing yourself. I mean, I don't know. When I get home after practice, I'm probably going to play with myself. And then he's just like, oh, that sounded kind of weird, huh?
We all played with ourselves after practice, dude. When you have enough CTE, you need to have some platform.
But that's my number 1 and number 1.5.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, him misspeaking is probably more true than if he would have said, I'm going home to play Madden.
Yeah? I mean, give us the details, dude. What's going on in your life?
All right, for my number 1, my real number 1 at heart was obviously the I'm just here so I don't get fined. That's just a classic. But since Hunter did a twofer, this is kind of just the accumulation.
It was the same guy, same year.
Yeah, well, this is an accumulation of the same guy. Just pick a dart and just any interview.
Is it Marshawn Lynch, dude?
No.
All right.
I love any Bill Belichick interview. Because the reporters still, to this day, this dude's been coaching for fucking years, decades, eons, millennia. And they still are asking questions that they know that he's just going to go, I don't know. And we're on to whoever. Yeah, that's it. And you can barely hear him on the TV. You have to fucking crank that shit up, and every single question they ask, he just pretty much says, that's just we're going to play the game of football, and the objective is to take the ball and put it in the end zone, and then after we will leave and go home.
And that decisively, what does that say about just where your team is right now, just how good it is right now?
I don't know. You've prepared to face this Peyton Manning-led offense more than 20 times in your coaching career. Is there one common thread that stands out to you over the years?
I guess Manning.
Coach, do you think the fans have a right to know about what happened with Chandler on Sunday?
Yeah, I've already covered this.
And it's just, I love it. I love that just cynical, I don't give a fuck what you guys want. I'm just going to run through this because I don't fucking care about you guys. And that's just, that makes me feel good.
He does the NFL, top 100. He does all these documentaries of the NFL. And when it's like a historical documentary, he will go on there and wax on poetically, dude. You hear him talk and you're like, this guy is a fucking genius. Everything he says is amazing. He just goes on and on. If they get him to talk about Lawrence Taylor when he coached him way back in the day for the Giants, he'll just go on and on and on. But if you are trying to talk to him a week before another game is going to happen, he will give you the fucking CIA. I got captured. I'm tied up in a fucking hut somewhere. He's getting interrogated, dude. He's not spilling the beans. He's not going to give you any information. And that's the art of war, dude. That's what Belichick's all about. He's not giving you any details that might help you at all.
Yeah, he doesn't even want to tell reporters that he feels good. He feels bad. He
He
feels
won't even tell you how he's feeling. He won't tell you what he ate for breakfast that week.
Yeah. If you said, "Hey, Senor Belichick, what did you have for breakfast this morning?" He would say, "We're on to Cincinnati." And
if you then preface with a question, if you even say, "Hey, it's done, dude," he already has the answer in his mind. We're on to Cincinnati.
Yeah, he pretty much just wants the media to walk in the room and just stare at him.
Just waste their time.
And then he can just leave. There's nothing said.
All right. So, Jake, your number one is anything Bill Belichick has ever said to a reporter. Austin, you want to round it out with what your number one is?
So this one, I don't recall the year, dude. We're not pro football focused. We're bro football focused.
We sure are.
This was a few years ago. It's the Bears. They're playing against the Packers. And the Bears are up 21-3 at halftime. They injured Aaron Rodgers. Rodgers' knee is hurt badly, dude. People thought he tore his ACL. They thought he's out for the season.
Back in.
Anyways, halftime concludes. Rodgers comes out. He's throwing touchdowns, dude, like Rambo, just shooting them up, dude. The score flies up. The Packers win the game. And the post-game, interview, the lady asks him, what's going on? What was the injury? He's like, dude, he's so zooted. His eyes are fucking – there's no cornea, dude. It's just all pupil. And, dude, they shot him up with some crazy pain meds. And he's like, the injury was my knee. And, dude, I literally was just dying of laughter when I saw it.
After you're trailing 20-0 when you come back. You've played in some big games, Aaron. How do you put this one into words?
Well, it's hard to, it is. But it's the Bear-Packer rivalry. So it would have had to take something really catastrophic injury-wise to keep me off the field in the second half. I went in the locker room, did all the tests, and then I was in our indoor facility trying to get it loosened up. But I knew once I got back on the field, the adrenaline started going, I'd be able to hang in there.
What was the injury?
My knee.
We need to show a 10-second clip of this interview. Rodgers is so fucked up. And then for weeks, he's just taking on the backlash and just saying, no, they didn't give me any painkillers. His knee was damn near dislocated. He came right back in, was just tossing tutters, and his eyes were super dilated. He was saying crazy stuff. It was so funny, dude.
See, now that brings on the point. I think a pro PEDs NFL is the future. I want no corneas, just pupils, laser focus. I want guys so vascular that their veins are just ripping through their skin naturally, just because of how much HGH they're on. So, and then, the big fat Haas linemen's just so stoned out of their minds, they don't even get down in the stands.
I pulled up the interview real quick just for a frame of reference. Interesting stat line that they have on the screen. Aaron Rodgers in the first half, 3 for 7, 13 yards. Aaron Rodgers in the second half, 17 for 23, 273 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions.
That's the thing. They gave him painkillers. They gave him adrenaline. They gave him fucking horse tranks. Maybe a little bit of meth. And he's
Austin's right. Aaron Rodgers' face right now, he's just like,
he's muted, dude. All right, let's check the stat line. This is something for our editing team, dude. Can we see if Josh Allen has ever thrown for that post halftime stat line that Aaron Rodgers had just done? Look at his eyes, dude. Was this post game or was this after the halftime? I can't remember.
This is post game.
He's like, it was my knee. You got to hear him say my knee. When you hear him say my knee, you know he's fucked up, dude.
We'll play it in the clip.
I do want to see, though, his stat line compared to, some recent draft picks, high overall draft picks, dude. Sam Darnold, Josh Allen. I want to see how fucking that halftime high performance performs, dude.
Yeah, drugs are nuts, but
stay in school. Don't do school.
Yeah, So
unless you're in the NFL, you're a freak athlete.
that was a fun game of the week, Jake. But now it's time to close out the show.
I've been cooking things up in the pot in the old brain cavity there.
Yeah.
And the next games are gonna be lots of fun.
Spicy games?
Yeah, more fun than Waldemir.
Are you talking about the Piss Shack or the fucking Ravine 3?
All of it.
That's nuts. I think Waldemir.
Cruz rode on the fucking. What is the Ravine Flyer 2, dude?
The Ravine Flyer 2 is the
shouts out Ravine Flyer 2, yo.
But all right. So to close out the show, we gotta almost finish something up.
Yeah, we're so damn close.
And we're down to the Final Four. Little shake-up this week. Lost all the numbers for the most part. Austin says that he has some recollection, so we're going to go on those.
As do I.
CMB, have you been following along with the bracket, being an avid fan?
Oh, a little bit. I put in my vote. Always.
Okay. Put in your vote.
You're doing your American duty by voting.
So
Absolutely.
We'll give you a sticker that says I voted.
Yeah. Our first matchup this week is Chris Jones versus Linval Joseph. These are two perennial big nasties for sure. But if what you guys are saying about the numbers that Linval Joseph was up, I think that is purely because of the picture we're using. But even so, I'm totally okay if Linval Joseph goes into the finals.
All right, so Jake, when did you view the bracket last?
Did I view it? I think it was maybe yesterday.
I viewed it at 5:45 this morning.
Okay.
And that's when I voted for it. And I voted for...
Now, is that Central Time?
This is... I don't even know what time zone I'm in, honestly. Whatever Texas is in, dude. We're in our own time zone. But I hit it, dude, and Linval Joseph was up big over Chris Jones.
That's the same thing that I saw.
Trent Williams was up at least 20% over Ndamukong Suh. And
we're not even there yet.
We'll wait we'll wait for that.
But I feel like at this point it's a discussion between us four, dude. I feel like this is when we take over, dude.
See, now the one thing I will say, because I do understand Hunter's concern that, maybe it's the picture. But and I thought this a little bit last week. Chris Jones, is he big? Yes. Is he nasty? Yes. Does he deserve to be this far? Yes. But every week it is brought up that this man's hog flopped out during the 40. And you can only ride the hog train so long. It has to make a stop eventually.
And you're gonna ride that thing, dude.
Listen, unless you're OG Mudbone or one of these other massive hosses,
Industry are you in?
Hogs, you can't ride that all the way to success.
Are you laying lumber or are you laying hog?
To be fair, I think every week, and especially this week where we tried to use very nasty pictures, we've had a hard time finding a gross picture of Chris Jones.
And that in itself alone is why I think Linval Joseph should be going through.
Yeah, Linval Joseph, I'm setting you through.
I searched Google, Bing, Ask Jeeves, DuckDuckGo, and I could not find a nasty Chris Jones picture.
As the primary Googler of BFF, I couldn't find a sick picture of Chris Jones just sweaty, fat in the trenches. Linval Joseph, dude, he's popping out his jersey, dog. He's fucking wearing a gas mask. He's so hossy, dude. He's premium hoss. He is one of the top hosses in the league, it's no doubt. And he's got sunglasses on while he's fucking ripping the gas mask.
That extra level of swagginess, that counts in my book.
That really counts. When you add that factor into it, come on now.
That, along with both of us recalling that Linval Joseph was up, I think it's the only American thing to do.
It is, but
That's 2/3, dude. Chris
Yeah.
doesn't even count.
CMB, what do you think about this?
Facts.
You count, buddy.
I mean, personally, I did give it to Jones, but
Oh.
my opinion doesn't really matter anyway, so we'll
Yes,
just
it
move on.
does. I'm interested to know what you think about this matchup. Tell me.
Yeah, why
about
do you
this
think Chris
big
Jones
nasty.
is nastier and bigger and nastier than Linval Joseph?
CMB, envision you're in the trenches. You're a guard. Who would you
Okay.
rather have lined up against you? It's a run play, by the way. Linval
Who would
Joseph.
I rather have lined up against me?
Yeah, who would you rather have lined up against you?
Oh, I mean, neither, preferably. They're both
Now,
pretty
mind you,
big.
in this
It's a
scenario,
choice.
big
It's the
dudes.
final four of the big nasties. There's one
Ah.
on each side. Which guard are you, dude?
in this scenario, you are still the same stats you are now.
Yeah, you're Chris Merritt Buddy in a
For
Tremaine.
sure, I would rather line up against Jones. So I'm going
you have it.
against him.
So Linval Joseph.
I'll digress.
Hoss.
He's,
Do you want to get a pancake you and then suck some oxygen while he's wearing sunglasses?
See, and that's the thing. You're assuming that's oxygen. He might be taking nitrous hits.
Yeah, we don't know.
I never even imagined those might be nitrous hits, dude.
So, besides CMB, with the numbers, I think we're all in agreement. Linval Joseph has to go through to the finals.
The finals. Who'd have thought?
This morning when I checked, it was a landslide.
Yeah, hold the phone. So this one we have Sue versus Trent Williams. And me personally, I think this is the toughest matchup so far because you have the silverback versus like an actual big nasty who like crunches people after the play.
Yeah.
But Austin, you're telling me the numbers were a little different?
Well, when I checked this morning, the numbers were fairly even. They were swaying slightly in the direction of Trent Williams. But I feel like we have so little followers at this point that this 4 right now could very well determine the difference.
True. CMB, what do you think about this matchup?
Jump right in.
I personally went with Sue. The dude, you don't get nastier than that guy. He's nasty in every aspect of the game.
But is he
Go ahead.
Dirty dude? He's
Can you
big.
elaborate? Can you elaborate on that? What's
For
next?
sure. He's
Look
dirty.
back close
Late hits. Straight up.
Stash.
Like, oh, thanks, dog. Been working. That's a nasty stash, by the way.
Nice little flavor saver.
For sure. No, I honestly think one, not only is he the dirtiest player to ever live
Vontae's birthday.
for all those. Yeah, okay, 1 and 2.
Hey,
Up
say
for
that
debate.
the dirtiest player bracket, dude. What are you doing?
Whoa.
You're gonna be a recurring guest, dude. You come up with this bracket stuff.
I'm gonna have to. No, I just had to give it to him just because of the sheer fact he is a nasty human all around. His attitude, nasty. He's big and nasty. And he kind of looks like Roz from Monsters, Inc., in my opinion.
I'm not gonna lie, you kind of swayed me there, CMB. I was
Oh.
the Trent Williams guy. I've been Trent Williams from the get-go. I
So-
bought a $140 visor in high school. It's Trent Williams wore visor, dude.
Jake, weigh in a little on this matchup.
Yeah. So now, if I can explain this in the best way, our fans probably know about the donkey brains. And when you are so fully engulfed in the donkey brains, some might say you have the donkey soul. And Dominican Sue is so fully engulfed in the big nastiness that he has a big nasty soul. Down to his core. Like
You're a
the Grinch.
Sue guy too.
Like the Grinch. His heart is nasty. When you can even go deeper into his heart. His aorta is nasty. No matter how deep you go. It's just so ingrained in the person he is, in his core code. You can just see capital letters, nasty, amongst the zeros and the ones.
So Austin, you're also on the Sue train now?
Listen, how are you going to determine that, dude?
Because you just said you were.
Yeah.
You said CMB swayed you. What do you mean? I think you might have to cut the brewskis in half next sode.
All right. So this morning I voted for Trent Williams, dude, because I've always admired him. He's a hoss, dude. He's silverback, dude. He's got the fucking visor. He's a hoss.
The visor's tough.
He's just Texas tough, dude. But then you really think about Sue, and you think about him stomping some nut sacks. And
In slow motion, mind you.
You think about him in like a fucking dog pile, and he's just twisting some nut sacks, dude. And he's biting on them, dude. And you think about it, dude. You really think about it.
He kind of looks like an ogre from Lord of the Rings.
Kind of ogreish, dude. And you think about it, dude. And he's got that hoss. He might be a more compact hoss, but all the hossiness is there. It's there, dude. And he is sweaty. And he's a fucking mercenary, dude. He plays for whoever will pay him the most money.
Yeah.
Oh, you're the Detroit Lions, dude. He eats up their fucking cap space, dude. He's over here, dude. Tampa Bay, dude. If you offer him $10,000 more than the other team, he will go to you. He went to the Dolphins. He played for the fucking titty Dolphins. Like, not even like titty Dolphins, tanking for Tua Dolphins, dude.
Wasn't he on the Bucks then?
No, I don't know, dude. But like the year before, at least, he was eating.
He was in the Bucks at some point.
No,
name a time within the past 4 years when the Dolphins were good.
After all of the deliberations, I think I can send Sue through.
Let's get Sue through, dude. And I will say I was a Trent Williams guy, dude. I was.
Yeah.
That's what we're here for.
I think Sue is too obvious of a pick, but I mean, that's...
Hunter, shut the fuck up, dude. Say it to Sue's face. What are you going to do?
Now, see, my thing with that, Hunter, is, if somebody says, hey, who's the greatest quarterback of all time? And somebody says, like, oh, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning. You can't say, oh, those are too obvious of picks. They're obvious because they're true.
Yeah. I feel like if you tell Sue he's not the top hoss, he's going to titty twist you. Your knees, and he's going to do dirty things to you, dude.
Now, if we can get a live interview where you, Hunter, tell him to his face that he is not the biggest, nastiest dude, and then we can get his reaction and what happens from there on out on tape, I would be okay with that.
Yeah, maybe we could get like footage of Ndamukong Suh giving me a titty twister or a swirly or something. That'd be cool.
A nogi?
I would let him do whatever to me, honestly.
A wet willy?
Hey, are you talking live or are you talking Zoom live?
I want to be there in person.
Yeah, I'm saying I'm in person. Ndamukong Suh.
Maybe we
the
could
Super Bowl's in Tampa Bay. We should all fucking go and just be there, dude. We should be in the parking lot, dude.
Now, my thing is,
just do it
I don't want him to sauce you up in a football way. I want him to sauce you up in a old school bullying and prank way. So I want him to antique you.
I will say this.
To egg you. I want him to toilet paper your house.
Can we put this on record? If the Buccaneers make the Super Bowl this year, when the Buccaneers host the Super Bowl, very realistic goals. Sue can do whatever he wants, like whatever we decide, dude, for the podcast, whatever is the most profitable, he can just murder me, dude. Whatever, dude. Just it's a go. It's go time.
Sent to murder. We might be the first podcast to ever do that.
Where was that going? You said, can we put this on record if
Yeah,
If the Buccaneers make the Super Bowl during the time they host the Super Bowl, Sue can do whatever we feel is the most profitable to me, dude.
And he's saying including letting him murder.
Stop my nuts, dude. We'll make it. We'll put on Pornhub, dude.
I feel that's a pretty high price to pay, but I like your dedication.
I don't care, dude. I want to get big. Let's get big, dude.
Now, possibly avoiding this murder because he is in the finals. Now, the finals of the biggest nasty in the National Football League is between Ndamukong Suh and Linval Joseph.
It sure is.
Wow. I mean,
I honestly drank so many beers I forgot about Linval Joseph, dude.
there's so many.
Next week we got to cut that in half.
There's so many shitty headlines coming from these news organizations. This finals matchup is quality content, quality news, and if I dare say, clicks.
I honestly don't know who I'm gonna vote for, dude.
It's gonna be tough. It's gonna take a lot of thinking, a lot of stress jerk-off sessions, just to clear my mind and really figure this thing out, you know?
So that's pretty much the end of it. CMB, did you enjoy your time on the show?
Oh, for sure. I love this stuff, man.
Good. I'm glad. We'll definitely have to
You're definitely
add you to the list of
guest.
reoccurring guys.
Yeah.
What are you saying, Austin?
I said you're definitely a top 5 guest of all time.
For sure.
Top
I agree
5.
with that
I'm in.
100%. Considering
Love it.
we've only had 4 guests, you by default are top
Top
5.
Take it. Working man hands. Look at him.
Yeah. No, well, that's not true. You're not our first working man. I think Bull's a working man.
Oh, yeah. Bull's a working man.
Now, here's what they don't tell you is this, what was it, a Reese Cup, the Reese Cup incident?
Yes.
Why do you think it was juice for the end? Bull content gets clicks.
There was a very similar instance, but this was back, I think he was maybe 12, 13 years old.
When he was just
the guy, he was a calf. He was small. He was 200. I remember the day he stepped on the scale, 200 pounds. Fact.
That was when he was 6?
When I was below 200
Close to
pounds.
5'6". No, he used to hide snack packs in the bathroom. Do you remember that, Jake?
Oh, yeah, the pudding. He would eat.
So he'd be like mid-dump, like, I'm kind of getting hungry again.
Oh.
He'd just crack one open and just down it right there. He had like 6 or 7 in that bathroom.
The best thing about it is, what better snack to eat when you're dropping a nice, smooth, chocolatey poop than just eating a nice, smooth, chocolatey pudding just to keep it going straight through the tube.
Well, also, possibly real stat from the Bull's mouth, he will tell you that every meal he's ever eaten, including Thanksgiving dinner, he has also eaten on the toilet.
Oh, no, I have seen. No, listen. I got to tell you this. I got to give you some backstory. Our family didn't really have very diverse meals. A lot of pasta and bread and pasta.
Italian.
And I can vividly remember this because what Bull does, a classic Bull move, Thanksgiving style, you load everything up. You put your ham over here and your potatoes, a little bit of gravy, some, turkey. And that's not the Bull method. The Bull method is potatoes, gravy, ham, gravy, corn, gravy, turkey, all in the same spot. And he just starts piping it up. And I remember seeing the piles of corn and gravy and the full-blown Thanksgiving mountain whilst he is taking a shit with the door open.
That's honestly so stinky and so gangster at the same time, dude. I don't know what to say.
I wish Bull was in the NFL so he could have been on that big nasty list.
5 more episodes of this. I think we'll be able to have like a really good Bull Bits compilation.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, what?
Dude, I could go on for days.
I mean, Bull's like 5'9", dude, and he's
not 5'9".
He's 5'10".
He's 5'11" when he stands in his normal posture. If he stands straight up, straight back, he's like 6'1".
Yeah, when he fights his hunch.
Jake, he's got a hunch, dude. And it's a big hunch. And
it's not 5'9", big hunch.
Jake, he might be like 6'1", but he goes,
Yeah, no, he definitely
That's
has like it's not that bad.
Significant hunch.
in a second.
Like
It's a significant hunch, dude. You can't deny it. It
No.
brings him
yes,
down
he
to
does have
5'9".
punch, but he does not look down at the ground.
If you touch it, it feels funny. But
It's a hump, dude. If
Listen,
you touch it, it's a
that
brick. It'll
adipose
break your
tissue up
knuckles.
there.
fellas, we can't be doing all this bull talk. He's gonna be a guest again in the near future. We should save it for then.
He's a fan favorite.
He's a fan favorite, absolutely. But I think this is a really good time to end it. Chris, thank you so much for being a guest. I hope you enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, I loved it every second.
Good. You fellas, thanks for being with me as always. That's it for this one.
Can't believe you're gonna end it there, dude.